All right, let's take a look at this Trump rally. And we're not going to watch the whole thing. We're not going to watch the whole thing. We are going to watch several clips provided by a journalist because, holy crap, I do not feel like sitting through an entire thing of this.
And he had no idea what I was talking about. He had no clue. But at the debate this week, the American people saw the contrast between a 47-year career politician who used his public office to enrich...
Is that a nun? Is this a nun in a MAGA mask? What? All right. Whatever. Yeah, it looks like he has clergy behind him. Yeah, look at this guy.
Himself, you know that. I mean, his son was like a human vacuum cleaner. Just follow his... Let's go. And he...
Yeah. Your kids would never do something like that, right, Trump? You wouldn't just bring all of your untalented, non-experienced children into the White House, would you, Trump? You'd never do something like that, would you? You wouldn't bring all of your kids into the highest levels of our government just to vacuum up business deals, would you, Trump? Whew. All right. Yeah, also the sign saying Big Ten football is back. Pretty cringe considering we're in the middle of a pandemic that has killed so many people. Yes, Jojo, congratulations on participating in the democratic vote process. I 100% agree this orange turd on stage is quite disgusting. Let's listen to what he has to say here. This clip.
These people, oh, now they're doing it again. You know, the laptop from hell. They found the laptop from hell. This is a laptop that they don't want to see. How the hell this laptop got freed up. It's amazing the way God works.
Okay, why is this nun not wearing her mask right? It's really bothering me. I wish she would fix it. Second, this is super reminiscent of his talking about, if anyone's out there, please release those emails. This is like some weird, you guys, even if you're a conservative, you have to admit, this is like a weird phrasing for this, right?
Well, they found the laptop from This is a laptop that they don't want to see. How the hell this laptop got freed up. It's amazing the way God works. The laptop from hell. Right? And now it comes. It's Adam Shifty Schiff. Yesterday I saw it for the first time. Watermelon. He's shaped like a watermelon. Adam.
I'm sorry, Jojo22. We've been having some we've been inhaling the hopium over here. You know, we have a lot of hope. Let's take a break from looking at this this orange buffoon real quick. And let's take a quick gander at 5:38. This should help a little bit, okay? Look at that. Here, I'll even refresh it for you guys. Boom, got refreshed. Trump is currently at a 12% chance of winning the election. Biden's at a 87% chance. Now, granted, 12% isn't zero, but it is 1 point lower than he was at yesterday. So, and Biden has been maintaining a steady 87. We'll see. I believe in 2016, 538 was saying Hillary had around a 70% chance. Let's take a look. Because, the internet works. We can go back and look. 2016, 538. Election forecast. Yeah. So this was the day of the presidency. Hillary Clinton had a 71% chance. Trump had a 28% chance. So, yeah, I mean, like, it's not 30-40. It's not as close as that, but, like, currently, if numbers stay steady, you know, a Trump has half the chance he had of winning in 2016. Less than half. So we're in a decent position as far as Biden winning the election goes. However, again, cannot emphasize this enough. 12% is not 0%, so there is always a chance. Like, we're playing XCOM. It's an 87% chance that we're going to make the shot. Still a 12 to 13% chance that we won't. Okay? But don't freak out, okay? We have even better numbers than this now. All right? Now we got these numbers. Yeah, and a lot more people are turning in their early votes. So we're in a better spot right now. Do not lose hope, JoJo22. We are inhaling the hopium today. To counteract the offer doomer miasma that has been released as a result of Amy Coney Barrett being put on the Supreme Court, okay? Let's take a look at some more of these, okay? We're gonna make our way through this. I just have to say, also, I don't get I get why this is such a big talking point with Hunter Biden. I just don't get it. Like, all of Trump's kids, none of them have any, like, governmental experience at all. And they're all currently sitting in positions they did not earn. And they're all benefiting from those positions. And we're also not voting in Hunter Biden. So, like, it's some real projection. Because that's all conservatives really have. They have projection of their own fears onto other people. Let's take a look here.
Campaign, the whole should have gone much faster, I have to be honest with you. But we caught him spying in our campaign, the whole group. And by the way, Obama and Biden, they knew everything about it. They knew everything about it. We caught him with that, too. It's much better if I say no, 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 please.
Guys, conservatives out there who might be watching, okay? You have to understand that he's deliberately provoking. Are they fake nuns? Is that true? I need evidence to verify whether that's true or not, but that would be incredible if they were fake. But the other thing is, I have to emphasize to you conservatives out there that, like, a president, like a sitting president, inciting a crowd to chant lock him up, or lock them up about his political opponents is a bit fascist. It's fascist. And then, instead of saying, no, 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 calm down, instead of saying that, he's like,
should have gone.
Wait.
No, 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 please. Say no, 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 please.
Wait.
It's much better if I say no, 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 please.
It's much better if I say no, 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 please. Shit-eating, followed by a shit-eating grin. This is what fascists do. I don't know how to, like, communicate more clearly to you guys out there. Like, fascists, like, sidestep their points. He's not, like, and by the way, he has outright called for the arrest of Joe Biden and Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton. He has directly done that. He did it on the show with Rush Limbaugh. Sorry, not Rush Limbaugh, with Maria Bartiromo. So, like, he's doing overtly fascist stuff. It's not even like, well, it could be, could not be, a little bit of column A, a little bit of column B. No, like, it's just overtly fascist stuff. And if at this point you're still making excuses for it, you're probably a fascist too. And, like, the thing is, a lot of people don't know what fascism means. A lot of people don't know what socialism means. A lot of people don't know what communism means. To them, all of these things are just interchangeable words for bad, like, just bad. Like, you call someone a fascist if they are bad. You call someone a socialist if they're bad. You call someone a communist if they are bad. And there's not really any distinction between these things for people on who are this conservative. But the issue is, I'm not calling Donald Trump a fascist because he's bad. I'm calling Donald Trump a fascist because he acts to a T and promotes policies that to a T match what a fascist would do at every given opportunity. Again, we went over this earlier in the stream. Go over Umberto Eco's 14 Points of Fascism. Go over Jason Stanley's 10 Points of Fascism in his book. Donald Trump matches every single one of the points by both criterias. You need to understand that this is a really dangerous time for America. And a lot of the people who are fascists wouldn't necessarily describe themselves as fascists. If you asked Hitler, are you a fascist? He would have said no. If you ask Trump if he's a fascist, he's also going to say no. But that's the thing. You can't believe what fascists say. You have to discern their beliefs and their positions based on their behavior. And all of the behaviors and all of the rhetoric coming out of Donald Trump and his campaign and the people who support him is fascist. Let's take a look at the next one.
Hey, I was in North Carolina. Remember? I was saying today I was in North Carolina speaking to a great crowd, and I said, remember, when I first started, I said, we're going to say Merry Christmas again. Remember? And
Who's passed the laws against saying Merry Christmas? Pretty sure you can say Merry Christmas as much as you want. The issue with people, like employees at stores, being told to say Happy Holidays is merely because there are other people who are not Christian and don't celebrate Christmas who shop in the same season for gifts. So the reason people are not saying Merry Christmas as much when you're going into stores is specifically not because, like, lefties want to take away your right to say Merry Christmas or whatever, or want you to be more inclusive of other religions. It's because capitalist companies want to bring more people into their stores so they can make more money through more sales. It's capitalism. Capitalism wants to be more inclusive so it can sell products to everybody. It's one of the few things that makes capitalism kinda good. But these people don't understand that. These people attribute it to evil lefties, rather than people in boardrooms who want to make money.
remember all the department stores? Many of them are wiped out because of the internet, but these are minor details, right? But all the department stores, they'd say Happy New Year and everything but Christmas. They don't want to say Christmas. I said, we're going to say Christmas again. And you know what? They're all saying Christmas again.
Okay, no, they're not. A, no, they're not. And B, mandating that stores have to say Merry Christmas is super fascist, right? Last time I checked, the very First Amendment is the protection of free speech in this country. The very first one. It's the most important one. But I guess the president can just mandate that all stores have to say Merry Christmas now, apparently. Even though that's blatantly not true.
They're saying Merry Christmas. They're all saying Merry Christmas again. Gonna be there pretty soon. And we have a big day. You better get out. Remember, I was saying today, I was in North Carolina.
I just have to say, this is like some real weapons grade insanity here.
He said he wants to get rid of it. Okay, he wants to get rid of it. Why does he want to get rid of it? That could only take place in the great state of Ohio. He said he wants to get rid of it. Okay, he wants to get rid of it. Why does he want to get rid of it?
Oh, he's an idiot. Okay, cool.
No, it's true. I'd have meetings where I'd go back, I'd say, you know, that's got to be dangerous, that's got to be this or that. But the fact is, I had it. It worked out well. Now I'm immune. I could run up and kiss this whole group of people.
What the Okay, I know what he's saying is insane right here, but also, what is up with this guy? What is he wearing? And why?
Men and women. No, and it worked out. By the way, 99.9% is good, and then you're immune and all that stuff.
Okay, also, 99.9% of people are not okay. The COVID death rate in the United States is around 2.7%. So, if you're in a room with 50 other people, one of you at least is gonna die. Okay?
You know, I heard you were immune for life. So when I had it...
Also, not everyone who is getting it is becoming immune. Basically, what they've found is if you have extremely bad symptoms, you are more likely to generate the antibodies that will keep you immune. If you have very little to no symptoms, you are very likely not immune to the coronavirus.
I said, I'm immune to them, to the fake news. And they said, but only for 4 months. I heard it was for life. With me, it was for 4 months. If it was anybody else, it'd say for life. It's true. No, it's true.
Is this some dangerous misinformation on his part? I mean, it's always dangerous misinformation on his part.
It's amazing. It's amazing. They don't treat her very nicely, and she's incredible. The most elegant woman. And she goes, but that is okay. She loves the people. I mean, it's really amazing. We love her. Yeah. Now, she's done a great job, and she loves it. And she loves the people. But she had it recovered. I had it recovered. Barron had it. Didn't even know he had it. So it's one of those things. But we have to lead your life. So when I would be having meetings with Gold Star families, military, lots of other people, I'd have meetings, right? And I'd go and I'd do the meeting, and sometimes people would come up and they cut close and everything else. Mask, no mask, they get close. And I'd leave some of these meetings, say, that could be dangerous, I guess. I don't know, you know. But I have to do my job, as I said at the debate.
He's the president of the fucking United States. If he wanted Gold Star families to wear masks, he could ask them and have his Secret Service provide them with masks. There's absolutely no reason why anyone he's meeting should not be wearing a mask.
I can't put myself in the basement of the White House for a year and a half. I can't do it till this thing goes away. And it is going away. It's rounding the turn. Do you notice they talk about cases? Always cases, cases, cases. They don't talk about death. Mortality rate.
There are 225,000 people dead in this country. Let's take a look at the COVID deaths. COVID in the US. Let's take a look. Yeah, by the way, just since I've been covering this over like the last couple weeks, we've gone from around 7 million to now we're at 8.78 million people who have the coronavirus. And just today, 339 people died. And currently the deaths sit at 226,000. So, Yeah, we're just rounding the curve, despite the fact that we are currently in the middle of another spike around the country. But sure, whatever. Nothing matters.
Down 85% because what we have is so incredible. The job we've done is so incredible. 85%.
Okay, that just a lie.
November 4th, you're not going to hear the news. They do it, and you know what? On November 4th, you're not going to hear the news. The CNN, all they talk about, COVID, 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 COVID. If a plane goes down with 500 people, they don't talk about it. All they talk because they're trying to scare everybody. You have to lead your life. And
if a plane goes down with over 500 people, they don't talk about it. Did a plane go down that the mainstream media didn't cover? I feel like that would be pretty big news, actually. Who do you want 2020? I want Joe Biden to win. I want us to have a future in this country. That's not led by a fascist. That's my goal. My goal is not to live under a fascist president, okay? But also, 500 people might die in one isolated plane crash, but we're having like 500 people every day die. So, like, I don't know, what do you cover? Do you cover the one plane crash, or do you talk about the thing that is killing 500 people every day? Especially when that thing is also, like, killing anywhere between 300 and 1,000 plus people a day. I did vote. I voted for Joe Biden. I voted for Joe Biden. I voted for a lot of Democratic and progressive candidates down ballot as well. And I encourage you, by the way, if you are voting early, I encourage you to look into your local candidates. And even if you're planning on voting at the polls, please do your research beforehand. Figure out who you're voting for in your local races, because those people have way more authority and power over your daily life than a lot of these national races, okay?
Get out. You have to be vigilant, be careful, socially distance. Yeah, get too close, put the mask on, put it on. You know, lots of...
Yeah, exactly, Celador. If the same plane was picking up 500 people every day and crashing every day, yeah, the media would be covering that as a huge problem. Well, Hunter Biden's
terminate you, charge, expose all of this corruption. And then you see big tech, they won't put it on. And if you put it on, they delete you, they terminate you. Charlie Kirk, break up big tech. Well, they did sue Google. Nothing to do with this, of course, but they did sue Google on Thursday, right? You like it?
Actually, that is pretty good.
No, but they've exposed themselves because nobody knew it was that serious. They won't put it on. And if you put it on, and if you put something on from the New York, I think didn't they delete the New York Post? They terminated out the New York Post, right? Can you imagine a newspaper? They won't put it on. People have learned.
Okay, guys, just so you know, part of the issue with the Hunter Biden story was that it was so weird and so bizarre that most of the people who were approached to report on it didn't feel comfortable covering it, okay? Even the New York Post, a rag in comparison to a lot of more trustworthy sources, even the author of the New York Post article that initially posted about this Hunter Biden story didn't want their name attached to the article, so it was published anonymously on the New York Post's website. So, yeah, this isn't so much a case of social media censorship. It's more a case of journalists who build up their entire reputation throughout their lives, not wanting to piss that all away for a sensationalist story that might not go anywhere.
They don't want anything, because if Biden got in, they would own the world. If Biden got in, China would own our country. Exposed.
And yeah, and China would own our country, and that would be good for our media company for some reason? Or, like... Guys, if you're conservative out there, I plead with you, please, put two of your brain cells together for, like, a microsecond. Why would private companies in the United States who make their money off of printing the news and printing articles and publishing all kinds of different ideas, why would they want to be taken over by China? A country that has centralized control over its government and exercises extreme measures to promote censorship within its own borders. Why would these companies, in this weird conservative fantasy that they have, want to capitulate to China? That doesn't make any sense and would be self-defeating for their own business purposes. It's like, this is like utter nonsense. Please rub two of your brain cells together and maybe you'll get a spark and you'll realize that this is nonsense and maybe you can start growing more brain cells after that. Okay, please. I beg you.
The Democrats will offshore and cut them off, but it's okay. I don't mind because I like telling the truth. Biden and the Democrats will offshore your jobs, dismantle your police departments, dissolve your borders, confiscate your guns. Second Amendment, they're after.
Whoa, okay, that's a lot. Let's go through this point by point, okay, guys?
Because I like telling the truth. Biden and the Democrats will offshore your jobs.
Okay, first things first. Biden and the Democrats are not going to offshore your jobs. Do you know who offshores your jobs? The companies who are moving their operations overseas. They're the ones making the decision to offshore your jobs. It's not the Democrats. It's not Joe Biden. It's not the people in political positions. It is the people who run those individual companies. What we're talking about, what you're complaining about here, is capitalism. Capitalism is what is pushing these companies to seek out cheaper labor in foreign countries. Yeah, there are policies that Joe Biden could adopt that would prevent people from leaving. But I need you to understand also that Trump and the Republicans have absolutely no intention of stopping companies from leaving the United States. They have no incentive to do that when they get kickbacks from letting those companies get away with anything they want to do. We're not going to be bringing manufacturing back to this country unless we actually embrace the Green New Deal. Like, we're just not going to be able to do that because we can export our manufacturing elsewhere to other places. So I just need you guys to understand the people offshoring your jobs are the people that Donald Trump is in favor of running this country. The rich, the powerful, the ones who own your companies.
Dismantle your police departments.
Joe Biden has a plan to increase police funding. Joe Biden is actually increasing the amount of funding available to police. Now, specifically, it is to fund programs to train police better and adopt a number of other policies that will... adopting other policies that will benefit the communities that police operate in, etc. So, actually, Biden is not dismantling police departments.
Dissolve your borders.
Joe Biden has no intention of dissolving the international borders that we have with Mexico or Canada. There is absolutely no plan for him to do that. The only, I believe the only plan right now is to establish a path for citizenship for DACA recipients, and also to, I believe the other plan is to fast track a lot of the processing for people trapped in our concentration camps on the border, and basically to dissolve those camps. I believe those are the main, like, immigration reforms that Biden wants to do. So I don't think that has anything to do with our borders.
Confiscate your guns.
Okay. Yeah, also Joe Biden has no plan to confiscate your guns. That's just a lie.
Second Amendment thereafter. Eliminate your private health care.
Joe Biden's healthcare plan does not eliminate private healthcare either. I would like to eliminate your private healthcare and just give you blanket free better healthcare that covers everything, but we're not going to get that until whoever comes after Biden.
You know, we have 180 million people with private health care. A lot of you have private health.
Do you know that we have around 5 million children who don't have any kind of healthcare coverage in our current system? Do you know that we have 40 million children in our current system who are underinsured and can't afford healthcare? Do you know that in total, if you add those two numbers together, we have 45 million children in this country who can't afford their healthcare? Did you know that? Did you know that? Hey, I'm actually in favor of living in a country that would provide healthcare to all of those kids. Donald Trump doesn't give a shit about those children, okay? Donald Trump, frankly, does not give a shit about anybody, but he would let these kids die in a gutter if it made his stocks go up a little bit.
Healthcare. It's what you dream of. It's great. You negotiate. You have many great companies doing it. They compete.
Who, by the way, who, when they sign up for healthcare, enjoys that process? Do you enjoy it? Do you enjoy looking at a bunch of different healthcare plans, all of which are screwing you over in some invisible way that you're not entirely sure of? All of which seem relatively interchangeable until you need to use them, and suddenly the nitty-gritty details come back and get you when they deny you for your wife's health insurance coverage for her cancer treatments. Do you enjoy that process? Yeah, no, of course not, youth. Of course not. People don't like their private insurance. People like their doctors. People just like being able to go to the doctor if something's wrong with them and to be able to do that without going bankrupt. That's what people like. People don't give a shit about like Blue Cross Blue Shield or whatever, or Delta or whatever company is covering them. No, what they want is just to be able to get treatment for their health problems. That's it. That's all we need healthcare for. And you know what? We could give everyone in this country that, and it would cost our country less money.
You have great private health care. They want to terminate it. They want to terminate your religious liberty. They want to destroy the...
No. Joe Biden does not want to eliminate your religious liberty. Like, that just full stop. If anything, Donald Trump wants to remove your religious liberty if you're anything but a Christian, okay? And that, I think, should be seen as a greater threat and overreach than anything Joe Biden has brought to the table in that regard.
The suburbs, I am the best thing that ever happened to the suburbs.
Again, I'm the best thing that ever happened to the suburbs. He's dog whistling here. This is dog whistling for protecting the suburbs from black people.
You know, they were talking about this,
Ghost is anonymous. Joe Biden has no plan to come and take your guns. There is no policy that he has that is pro coming and taking anybody's guns.
60 Minutes, she asked me a question. You saw that I printed out the whole interview. I said, put it down. But she said to me a question, one of her questions. She said, why are you begging? Why? Suburban women. You said, please love me, suburban women, please. Please love me, please.
Now, I haven't seen this interview, so I don't know if this is an accurate representation of what happened, but it seems inaccurate.
I beg you, please love me, suburban. No, I didn't say that. What I did is I said, love me, suburban women, because I've saved the suburbs. I've saved...
Again, okay, so you're splitting hairs over the fact that you told suburban women to love you because you saved the suburbs by preventing low-income housing to be built there. Again, this is just a way of saying you saved suburban, aka white women, from low-income housing, which is just a dog whistle way to say black people. So he's patting himself on the back for dog whistling to racists.
They had a regulation. They had a regulation that would have brought low-income housing projects and crime right to their doorstep. Would have been right next to it. And I said, suburban women, you're gonna love me. That's what I said. And I was being they said, why are you begging for the love of suburban women? Suburban women are gonna love me. You know why? Because they want security, they want safety, and they don't want a regulation that's gonna destroy suburbia. That's all.
Let's take a look at something real quick. Okay, so guys, do you know why you build low-income housing in areas with more affluent individuals? Do you know? Do you know why that's largely done? School access is definitely one of the reasons. So, essentially, a lot of the reason that inner city schools have such bad reputations is because they derive their funding from the property values around them, of the residents who live nearby. This is why, by the way, school choice has become a prevalent issue because rich people in cities don't want to subsidize the learning of poor people. Um, and would rather send their kids to private schools and rather than sending their kids to public schools. Now, in suburban areas where there are these programs to build low-income housing, the reason programs try to mix low-income folk with middle-class people or rich communities is largely because then it gives incentive for or it allows sorry, it allows poor people to go to the same schools as rich people, build up those connections. Basically, it improves the income mobility of people in lower economic classes. Because A, you're forging connections with people from richer families who are going to be afforded more opportunities in the future. And B, you get access to better schooling because people in suburban areas tend to fully fund their public school. They have no problem paying their taxes because there's not this history of their schools being seen as ghetto or bad schools. Instead, they have, since they largely rely on property values and suburban property tends to be quite valuable, um, schools in those areas tend to be fairly well off. And because their children are going to those schools, these wealthier folk are more involved with the school's fundraising activities and support activities. So largely being able to put low income students in suburban areas is a way of equalizing income disparities over a long period of time. Um, and affording opportunities to low income folk that they might not have if they were confined to inner cities and projects in the inner cities. Excuse me. Um, Background checks treat Second Amendment like a privilege instead of a right. That's why I'm voting Trump. You're not vetted what you are going to say before they allow you to talk. What? Um, I mean, like, yeah, but here's the thing, Ghost. Every one of the amendments has some sort of corollary to it. Like the old saying you can't yell fire in a theater, like there are limits to your free speech as well. Like the First Amendment doesn't encompass, like, for example, threatening someone, or intimidating someone or coercing someone, you know? Um, like it doesn't cover those things. Um, don't mean I agree with the limits. They say no limits for me. I don't understand what you're trying to say, to be 100% honest with you. I personally, I don't have a problem if the government runs a background check to see if someone is, for example, a domestic abuser, because statistically, domestic abusers are far more likely to use their guns to A, kill their partners, and B, participate in mass shootings. Um, but also, like, I'm pro gun, uh, and I don't think that Biden is going to come for your guns. So, like, I don't know. I think there are some very common sense programs we could put into effect that wouldn't infringe on the right to bear arms and that would actually be good for society. Um, but like, I I don't think I don't think that like liberals are going to try and take anybody's guns. Like that's like some weird fantasy you guys have built up in your heads, and it's just not a fact that it's going to happen. Like it's not. Now, what I would say is I would be very much in favor of a no questions asked gun buyback program. I'd be in favor of that, where people can sell their guns back to the government at slightly above market value. I'd be in favor of that, with no questions asked. Get illegal guns off the streets. I think that would be a good thing to do. Um, it's about putting people in prison for guns. I'm not saying they will go house to house. Like they're stopped driving with a gun. Well, but you can carry a gun while driving. You just have to have like a license and a permit for it. Tell me I'm wrong. Bato said, hell yeah, we're gonna take your AR-15s. Yeah, but Beto isn't like in office. So I don't know what you're arguing against. More illegal guns are in my More illegal guns are in my interests. I want there to be more guns on the streets. Wait, why do you want illegal guns on the streets? I thought gun owners were supposed to be responsible. I, I don't know where this conversation is going. Like, I'm in favor of responsible gun ownership, okay, guys? I'm mad left. I'm a socialist, okay? Like, but I'm in favor of gun ownership. Um, I but I do think that there should be like some restrictions on who can own guns, and like I think that that's reasonable. I think that that's a reasonable thing to do, and I also think that oh, you don't agree that guns should be illegal at all. Oh, okay. I mean, I think that that's going to be a fundamental disagreement you have with a lot of people. Like, do you think that someone who is like mentally impaired should be able to buy a gun? Like, if someone with Down syndrome goes into a gun store, do you think that they should be allowed to buy a gun? Yes. Okay. What about someone who is like in a manic phase, clearly disheveled? You know, give me a gun right now, old man. Do you think that they should be able to buy a gun? I think that there are very simple restrictions that we can put on who can buy what and what can be sold that are very reasonable that don't infringe on anyone in any way. Like I agree. We AR-15s, sure. Maybe not like an AK-47 though. I'm not entirely sure why people need those. Lol, unless you are those people. Well, I mean like I don't know. I don't think that someone who is deranged and has like a suicidal plot to kill the president should be able to get a car full of guns, okay? It's like two white people having a civil conversation about the legality of slavery. Sure, you can, but I can't. What? Do you think people should be able to buy bazookas? I I mean, I guess that's true, but I mean, laws apply to people who aren't me too, right? Laws infringe on people's freedoms. Like you understand that, right? So like a lot of laws get passed to infringe on people's freedoms because it's reasonable to do so to protect individuals in society. Like that I think that there are definitely arguments you can make in favor of gun ownership, and I am personally in favor of responsible gun ownership, but like I do think that that responsible gun ownership should be tied to giving people proper training and proper proper permits and licenses and making sure that people know how to responsibly handle their weapons. I don't think that that's asking for too much, you know? Make it illegal. Wait, make it illegal to be black. The law applies. What? All people should follow the law. Make it illegal to be black. The law applies to all people, whether they are black or not, but it's illegal to be black. What the hell are you talking about, my dude? Are you just like, are you having a moment here? Like, go have a Snickers or something, you know? Like I don't know what's up with you. But Grady, I'm glad I'm glad you're voting tomorrow. I'm glad you're participating in the democratic process. Um even though we're on different sides of the aisle, I'm always happy to see people like voting, you know? Um Even if you're voting for a fascist. Just got to throw that in there. Um Yeah, I'm a little bit lost, Ghost. No, I'm saying you're saying the law applies to everyone, but the stipulations of the law don't. I, Ghost, all I'm saying is like there are pretty pretty fair-minded things that we could do to pass laws, like if you're arrested for beating your wife, you probably shouldn't be able to buy a gun. Or if you're arrested for having beaten your children, probably shouldn't be able to buy a gun. I think those are pretty reasonable low bars for behavior, you know? It's like saying the law about being black applies to all people, whether they are black or not. It's illegal. It's not illegal to be black, though. Oh no, Trump is 100% a fascist. We went through this earlier in the stream. I'm not going to go over it again, but we went through Umberto Eco's 14 points of fascism. He's very much a fascist. Um, but I'm really stuck on this whole ghost saying it's illegal to be black thing. I mean, it's fine if you want to vote for Trump. I'm not saying you can't. I'm just saying, like, he's a fascist and you should know who you're voting for. You know what? Done randomly, I do need a command like that. I need a command like that, so that we can get this over with more easily. Uh, but no, he's a fascist. He appeals to a cult of personality. He calls for the arrest of his political opponents. He talks about how he's the only one who can save us. He talks about how you should be afraid all the time of the brown people coming over the southern border. He talks about how, you know, the fake news is against him. He talks about how academia is against him and probably also gay. And, like, no, he's a fascist. He talks about it all, like, all of his talking points and all of his political positions align very neatly with Umberto Eco's 14 points of fascism. And Umberto Eco, if you don't know, he's a philosopher who lived underneath Mussolini in Italy, and then went on to write extensively about fascism. I would suggest that you check it out. Like, the 14 points are available for free online. Just look up Umberto Eco 14 points, and you'll find it. It's real simple. You can look it over for yourself. I can't do it again because I've literally done it 5 times and I've already done it once this stream, and I will literally, like, gouge my eyes out if I have to do it again today, okay? Yeah, I've done multiple videos on it already. You can look at my highlights on Twitch. They're over there, or the YouTube channel, okay? We're gonna finish going through this Trump rally, though. We got real sidetracked by Ghost.
Minnesota, Omar, C+3, ASC. How about ASC? How about in Minnesota, beautiful Minnesota, Omar, Ilhan Omar. And she's always complaining about the way we run our country. No. I think we're going to win. You know, Minnesota hasn't been won by a Republican since 1972. Does anybody know that? I think we're going to win Minnesota. First of all, we did a very good job, C+3.
For the record, I live in Minnesota, and Ilhan Omar is a pretty good representative of the people of my state, to be 100% honest with you. It's pretty cool that we elected a Somali immigrant, actually. I think that is pretty representative of, like, the American dream, right? Coming from a war-torn country with nothing, coming over as a refugee, building up a life for yourself, and becoming an American politician. Hell yeah. That's the American dream I want for people. Also, like, anyone who gets a Project Veritas video made against them has to be pretty based, right? They only make videos against people that they know they can try and lie about.
And then they talk about, if you lose, will this be a friendly transition? And I said, let me ask you a question. When I won, did they give me a friendly transition?
Okay, let's be clear. They didn't ask him if it would be a friendly transition. They didn't ask if it would be a civil transition of power. They asked very specifically, will it be a peaceful transition of power? Now, his argument here, the reason he said friendly, was so that he can project to his followers, oh, everyone was so mean and unfair to this good big boy. No. The thing they asked him was, would there be a peaceful transition of power? And he has refused repeatedly to say yes. And this is just another example of him twisting that moment in order to appear like he is, under assault from these people. The issue is not whether he will be nice about transitioning power. The issue is whether or not the military is going to have to go into the White House and remove him. Like that's the issue. The issue is if he's going to try and stage a coup to stay in power. That's why people asked him about a peaceful transition of power. And then when he didn't answer directly or clearly, that's very worrying. And then him deliberately twisting the words to be friendly instead of peaceful is pretty, I think it's pretty telling.
They spied on my campaign. They did all this stuff. That was not a friendly transition, was it, huh?
His argument here is like, wow, what, like the Democrats literally lined up with guns outside the White House to keep him from, going in and swearing in. That didn't happen. But that's what people are asking him when they're asking, will there be a peaceful transition of power?
We called Make America Great Again, right? Like they had Make America Great Again, but now I say, Make America Great Again again. Make America Great Again again. We called Make...
No, AOC said that we should try and reduce plane use and that we should try and reduce our reliance on cows, because both of those things are like contributing to our planet dying, and maybe it's more preferable to have a planet that we can live on than relying so much on airplanes or cows. And the other part that a lot of people of conservative backgrounds conveniently ignore is the fact that AOC advocated for replacements for those things. Like, for example, maybe investing in lab-grown meat, or which is far more ecologically efficient, or investing in high-speed bullet trains that can travel along the ground at around the same speed as planes, but can do so more efficiently and via electrical green energy rather than fossil fuels. Like that's part of the program. The part of the program is not just like snapping your fingers and Thanos snapping like airplanes out of existence along with cows. Like, you realize it's more complicated than that. It's not like a ridiculous concept. Ashley, fun fact, Let's Make America Great Again was originally used by Reagan on his campaign. True. All right.
Blood all over the sand. We're getting peace without blood all over the sand. It's going to happen. We're getting peace without blood all...
Remember, we're bombing Yemen at the moment. We're literally participating in wars overseas. Donald Trump is doing more drone strikes than Obama did. We left the Kurds to die. Like, yeah, okay, sure, we have peace in the Middle East.
Took things, we have things, the hydrosonic missiles, I call them the super...
Why does he keep calling them hydrosonic missiles? They're not hydrosonic. Hydrosonic is a brand of toothbrush.
Super missiles, they go 7 times the speed of a normal quick missile. I mean, these things are amazing.
I think what he's trying to say is hypersonic, by the way. It means you can hear it through the water. I mean, maybe. Also, yeah, respect. Lügenpresse was what Hitler termed the press. And It means lying press. It means it's what the Hitler equivalent of fake news, right? Or alternative facts.
And Russia took things that we had during the Obama administration from our great scientists and engineers, and they have hypersonic, but we have hypersonic now that they're the fastest in the
Holy
world.
shit, he keeps
we needed
saying
all
it.
of this stuff. We have the greatest equipment. We are we have.
Oh gosh. I just have to say, guys, it's really funny to me that conservatives dance to YMCA all the time. I find it very funny because it's an incredibly gay song. It's about men fucking at the gym. Um, like, it is a great song. Don't get me wrong, but it is very it's quite homosexual in a way that I personally enjoy, but also in a way that many conservatives do not appreciate when it is pointed out to them. I find it quite hilarious and funny. The differences there. Now, someone earlier in the chat was saying these nuns are fake. I still want to see like some proof that the nuns are fake, but oh, sorry. Maybe the proof was blown up by the hydrosonic missiles that Russia has.
There's no need to feel down, I said, young man. There's no need to feel down, I said, young man. There's no need to feel down, I said, young man. There's no need to feel down, I said, young man. There's no need to feel down, I said, young man. There's no need to feel down, I said, young man. There's no need to feel down, I said, young man. There's no need to feel.
I enjoyed that. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how this song is not um uh, how is YMCA gay when it's a Christian song? Look at all these fine, upstanding, perfectly straight Christian men. Oh gosh. I did not know, by the way. I did not know that this was the picture of the actual band. I had to look it up to make sure. Oh gosh. Uh, uh, yeah, I mean, you realize YMCA wasn't by the organization YMCA, right? Uh,